Good evening, Kevin.
I think I know what you're going to think about this, but your thoughts.
It's just absolutely bonkers. I don't know what's going on in Scotland. I don't know who is going to benefit from this, but there's got to be some payoff, and I use that euphemistically. But there's got to be some payoff somewhere for these people trying to take the kids, because I have no explanation as to why a 12-year-old would be seen to make any sensible decisions about something quite so serious. I don't know, maybe the 12-year-olds could also identify if they're living under the poverty line as rich kids. Maybe that would be a better way to identify.
Yeah, I mean, this is a serious life-changing decision. I mean, it plays into. We were just doing a piece about the school jab squads. You know that the government's going to send in these vaccination squads who are going to be able to vaccinate 12-year-old kids against their parents' wishes. And here we have in Scotland, arguably a more long-term, serious, profound decision being offered to children of 12. And what I would say about this, Kellie Jay, is you know. Defenders of this, apologists for this, what I would say is madness, would say we're giving responsibility to the children. No, no, no. I would say we are abrogating our responsibility to protect them. It is not a kind thing to do to allow a 12-year-old to make a life-changing medical decision about themselves. Would you not agree?
Absolutely. And it's on the backdrop that fewer kids walk home on their own, fewer kids have any sort of other actual responsibilities. This generation in particular, maybe every generation has said the same.
Mm.
But this generation, I think, are kids for a lot longer in so many respects that then expecting them to be able to take on the enormity of something I just don't feel they can possibly comprehend is just it's just quite abusive. I know we've mentioned that before, but I do think it's child abuse. It's really saying to those kids, do you know what? If you're wrong, when you get to 18, 25, when your brain is fully developed, when you're in your mid 20s, and you regret what you've done, well, we can say that that's your fault because at that point we told you it's all up to you.
Yeah, what their defend children in Scotland say that consideration should be given to lowering this age further to 12 from 16 because it could be potentially extremely beneficial for trans young people. It would give them more chance to undergo this process should they wish to. In other words, full transition. Well,
Mm.
once again, we're asking 12-year-old children to consider a full sexual transition from one gender to another involving surgery. They're 12, Kellie J. They're
Mm.
12. I
Mm.
mean, you and I discussed the madness of teachers being told to respect 4-year-olds if 4-year-olds say, I'd like to identify as the opposite gender. I mean, that's crazy, but it's not quite so profound as offering 12-year-old kids the chance to make a decision that is specifically designed to lead to surgery that will change their gender. I mean,
Yeah.
it boggles my mind.
Well, what you've got is so many things going on just about this. For a start, people keep calling these children young people, and that's to totally disguise the fact that what we're doing is to children. The second thing is Kira Bell, Tavistock, that's just been overturned. And so those children now can access puberty blockers. And what
which which,
people
which will change their lives forever, right?
Absolutely. Once you take those puberty blockers, there is absolutely no data whatsoever to suggest that they are reversible. Once you take those puberty blockers, you eradicate your sexual function forever and your fertility. Now, they do talk about harvesting eggs and so on and sperm, but actually, at that sort of age, I don't even think you can make those decisions. And even if you could, I think it's quite barbaric and a bit grotesque to be talking about that again with kids. But also Scotland have just there's been an FOI that went out and they've admitted that hundreds of girls have been referred. Oh, sorry, 51 girls, not hundreds of girls, have been referred to England to have double mastectomies to the NHS under the NHS. our tax money is paying for children to have their breasts removed. I mean, I don't know how much further this can go, but every time I say that, something really bizarre happens.
I didn't realize that, but I think you and I should stress. You know, I no, I'm for whatever you want to do with your life. It's up to you. If you want to change gender, you want to have the surgery, and it makes you happy, then I'm right behind you. Good luck, all the best. But you cannot make that decision until not just you're physically mature, but you're mentally mature. In other words, I don't think you should make that decision until you're an adult.
I'm 100% in agreement. It's absolutely none of my business. As long as your identity doesn't encroach on women's spaces, I'm more than happy for people to do whatever they want in the comfort of their own homes and their own lives. But when you're talking about children, I think this is a responsibility of all of us to just speak up and start saying, absolutely not. This is not something that we should support. This should be criminal to do anything to children that will alter their bodies forever, especially when you make them the responsible for all of those decisions. It used to be that 90%, 89% of children would actually not go through a transition if they started on that path. But now we take them so young. I really do fear that that may change. So children then no longer have a choice about changing their minds at any point because their bodies will just be irreversibly harmed.
And we should stress that you're talking as a mother. You know, I think mothers everywhere will be very worried about this, and so will fathers for that matter. I just think people have to be mentally mature. They have to be adults to make these kind of decisions, and offering them the chance to make this decision as young as 12, or I suppose in terms of gender identity as young as 4, I just think it's crazy, absolutely crazy. Kellie Jay, it's always a pleasure to speak. Thank you so much for your time.